Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Talking Tradesman. With me in the studio today, I have Gemma from Gemma Grao Art. Gemma, massive thank you for coming and giving up your time to speak. And before we talk about anything else, a massive thank you for this. So Gemma's done a personalised skateboard, which is potentially it's the most thoughtful gift anyone's ever brought. Personalised. It's going to get wall mounted. I'm eyeing up bits of wall where it can go. In fact, right there is where it's going to go. But it looks absolutely incredible. So huge thank you for that. It's really, really sort of touching that you've took the time to do that for us. And yeah, let's get into your story and let's talk.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
First of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I am exhausted at the moment. Just feel like I'm really busy. But,
Yeah.
when
was the last time you took a prolonged break?
Prolonged quite a long time, but I do end up taking quite a lot of breaks, like at the weekends.
Yeah.
But that normally involves like climbing a mountain or something, so I wouldn't really class it.
Yeah, I can resonate with that at the moment.
I end up coming back at the weekend more tired, and then
Your
I'm
break
straight
is
back
to
into it.
physically exert yourself even more.
Yeah.
I guess before we move on, probably tell the listeners what it is you do.
So I'm an artist, but I have gone down the mural artist side of route a lot more recently. So started off doing more canvas paintings, and now it's just got really busy with the mural side of things. I'm also doing a lot of walls, sort of textured effect walls, so do feel like a decorator a lot of the time as well. So.
Do you know what I mean? Not to blow smoke, but you do some absolutely incredible work, like massive tip of the hat. Like you've got some real talent. So everything you do in terms of the wall murals all hand painted?
Yeah, it's all
bespoke,
sort of
one-offs.
hand painted. Yeah, so I think that's why they're so popular at the moment. People knowing that no one else is going to have one.
Yeah, there's definitely a draw to
like
that.
It, yeah, it's not
is
like
it?
just having a wallpaper that other people are going to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, personally, I've found even wall mural wallpapers have become a lot more popular recently. So to get a truly bespoke, one-off design, do they come up with a design, or do you get given the space?
It's normally me that's given free rein on the design, unless it's a specific sort of logo or something to match their branding. But a lot of the time, I think it's because a lot of it's through word of mouth. Most people seem to have a lot of trust in me and just sort of say, yeah, just do your thing. And so it's quite good that I just get to...
And you get around, don't you, in terms of obviously we'll get on to the camper van situation, but you travel with your work?
Yeah, so I bought my camper van sort of 2.5 years ago, and did spend the first year just doing a lot of holidaying and trips in it, but I am using it a lot more for work now. So
for those of you, two things. First of all, Gemma, just let everyone know what your social is it Instagram mainly, or are you on the other platforms?
Do use TikTok as well.
Okay, let everyone know what your socials are.
So Instagram, it's Gemma Grao Art. Grao is spelled Grao, and then it's the same on TikTok as well. So yeah.
Go and check out Gemma's profile. You see all the incredible work she does, but also check out that camper van. I've said this pre-record. It is one of the most Instagrammable camper vans. It's stunning. It is absolutely. Did you buy it like that?
Yeah, I was going to. I've got another van that I use for work, and I was looking at converting that myself. But looked into the electrics and plumbing side, and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I started looking, and then I found that one, and I was like, that's exactly how I would have done it. So I need to get it.
Had a company done it?
Yeah, it's actually. Have you heard of Vanny Campers that do all the competitions?
Yeah.
You sort of pay £1.
Like a £5 a ticket, win a van.
So he actually does all the conversions for them. So he's really, really good. Some of the stuff he does is unreal.
Yeah.
So he does some more for them.
It looks absolutely mega. What van is it based on?
It's a Sprinter.
Yeah, so the big old van anyway. I must admit, like, because I've looked at camper vans over various. I've never bought one, but I've gone through stages of seriously looking at them. And you look at some like the smaller ones, like your transporters and that. And I've always thought they look great for like a night, but they're too small for anything longer. But Sprinters are massive, aren't they? Yeah, they're really big. How did you get on with parking it around here?
It wasn't that bad, actually. I just did a really good parallel park for the first time ever, and I was like,
oh really?
Yes, yeah.
So you're down on the high street?
Yeah, I'm literally just out the front there.
Perfect. So you can put the kettle on out there. Yeah, we'll get onto that whole sort of like travelling around stuff. But I guess as with any story, it has like a start point. What's yours?
So if we go way, way back, I suppose I got into painting from my dad. He did a lot of oil paintings that were mainly like landscape. He loves painting like beaches and things. So I think he always got me to practice when he was...
Hobby or profession?
Just hobby,
okay.
Yeah. He... same with him. So my granddad also painted. So I suppose it's been passed down in the generations. So yeah, I just always used to paint when I was little. Did it at school for my A-levels.
Oh, okay.
But then when I was choosing what to do at uni, I decided to do something completely different.
What did you do at uni?
Everyone was telling me to do art, and I was like, no, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do.
No, they're there going, told ya.
Yeah, I was also really sporty at school, so I think I was just trying to go down the more sporty side. But yeah, I ended up doing leisure and tourism management at uni, which was also...
A lot of people do that one, don't they?
Yeah. So, I should have done art, but I think looking at it now, I don't think I'd probably still be doing it. I think if I'd have done it as, like doing it at uni and been told what to paint and been told, I think it would have put me off doing it. Whereas I think that sort of...
more organic route.
Yeah, like the passion for actually wanting to do it stayed in me because I wasn't doing it to sort of thinking it was going to be a career.
Yeah. Makes sense. So what did you like? What was your first career? What did you do when you left uni?
Yeah, when I finished uni, I've always worked in gyms and health clubs. So I started working at a health club. I was a sales manager.
Let's pause there quickly to thank our headline sponsors, Zinza. And in particular, take a moment to talk about their incredible product, Zinza Bin Aqua. Zinza Bin Aqua is a water-based primer, sealer, stain killer and odour blocker all in one. It has trace VOCs. You can use this product inside and outside and it will block knots, sap streaks, water, mould stains and more. We've used Zinza Bin Aqua in our business on many occasions and it has never let us down. With that in mind, let's get back to the episode.
Worked there for like 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And it was also a golf club as well. So did a lot of like golf days and corporate events and things. So yeah, it was very salesy and, like calling people all the time and sitting in front of a computer.
Were you doing your art in the background?
No, not at all when I was there. So I started painting a little bit when I went on maternity leave.
Okay.
Just when like my daughter was napping, I'd just get out a little bit and do it then. But I didn't start doing it properly until lockdown. So I was furloughed from the golf club and couldn't stand not having anything to do. So I just started painting, sat in the garden every day. Just started to really enjoy it again. Started putting things on Instagram that I'd done and they were just like really popular. Everyone was asking if they could buy them.
It's great to hear, because it was such a weird time in our lives and it's always spoken about so negatively. But it's great to hear some of these stories where actually having that break, that reset gave people the chance to do what you've done, which is actually go, do you know what, actually, there's something else I enjoy doing. I can do that now while I'm furloughed with no pressure. It's interesting, actually. If you were to have like a furlough, not that this would ever happen, but just theoretically, if you were to have like a furlough reset every few years, I wonder how many people would just completely U-turn, change direction.
It would be massive.
Yeah.
I because I wouldn't have taken the plunge and decided to do it if it wasn't for that. I would have just probably stayed there. I'd probably still be there now.
It's the pressure, isn't it, Gemma? Because I know there's certain things in my life where I've thought, oh, I'd like to give that a try, but you worry about, but if I don't earn, then,
Yeah,
you know...
it is always just the financial side of it, isn't it? You just panic that it won't work.
Obviously, it's worked out for you.
Yeah, but I think if I didn't have that little, you know, like still getting the furlough pay.
Test period. Yeah.
So, yeah, it worked out all right for me.
It's nice. It's nice to hear that. Exactly. Yeah. It's nice to hear the sort of positive stories coming out of it, because it was by and large quite a negative period of time. But there's a few people like yourself that have, you know, started something new in that time period.
Especially baking. Everyone loved baking cakes in lockdown. And there's so many people that are still doing it now. It
was a weird one. Like my personal experience of lockdown, nothing changed. I worked all the way through.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So there was never guidance to say that the construction industry had to stop going into people's houses. It just, which was weird in one, you know, because on one side I'm allowed to go in and out, and then others I'm not allowed to, you know. Anyway, I won't get into that. But yeah, I never stopped. And initially, like everyone else, when it first kicked off, I was very much like, oh, I don't know what this is. But I had a couple of customers, because our lead time's normally pretty big, jumped on it. Like, fortunately, I had 2 customers ring me up and go, we've got empty houses that we're desperate to get redecorated. Do you fancy it? Like, nobody else in there. I was like, okay. Perfect. Yeah. And did that. And then by the time we'd done those couple of contracts, a lot more information was out. And I think I did a few exteriors and bits where customers would section off the house. But yeah, I worked all the way through. So it didn't really feel too different for me. Yeah. So I had a different experience to it than most people, I think. Yeah. But so you started off...
We were probably all sat at home really jealous of you, whereas you were like, oh, look at them.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, yeah, there was that, and it just became like this giant holiday where everyone started drinking at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Which, again, has caused problems. A couple of my previous guests, that's like a start point of where they had battles with alcohol. Yeah. So you started off doing artwork, as in... like,
yeah, it was just
paintings,
like
pictures,
little small canvases. I did quite a few that were of like famous people that then ended up like seeing it and sharing it. So I think that's sort of what.
Who was the first one?
Michelle Keegan, I did one of, and she posted it on her story and like commented on it. So I think that like that's just sort of what started it off on my Instagram. Yeah. So once I started seeing how that worked, I was like, right, I feel like
I'll do it again.
Yeah. And then I did a really big painting that was just a row of like naked ladies.
I've seen it.
And that just went...
Looks great.
Everyone just went crazy for that online. So I think that then was...
What did you do with the paintings? Have they been sold?
Yeah, most of them have been sold. There's a few that I've ended up just throwing away because they just got battered from me moving around.
Right, okay, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of them I did end up selling. And then I think that from that naked lady painting, that's when I got my first mural that was of it was in like a hair salon, and she wanted a like female figure on the wall. So that was the first one that I did, and that started what started the whole mural thing then. So yeah,
mad, isn't it? How you kind of pull that thread and it goes like to where you are now.
Trying different styles and things, and just working out what.
How were the nerves the first time you did a like wall mural?
I don't think that one I was that nervous, really. I think it's more when I started doing the really big ones on my own, and I was like, oh my God, I've got this massive wall to finish in 2 days. How am I doing it on my own?
That's the point, actually. Do you get those kind of time constraints?
Yeah, a lot of the time, because it's normally businesses that are doing a big refurb and they want it done by a certain date so they can get everything else finished. It's quite good, though. I'm normally sort of the last person in, so if they need anything sort of adding and like touching up, I can just go back.
Have you ever had any of your murals damaged by other trades afterwards?
I've had like the walls just scratched and things by like electricians and you know, like putting drill holes in, and I've had to retouch those. I've had some things vandalised as well.
Really?
Yeah, I went through a phase of doing like window paintings.
Okay.
So whenever it was like Christmas or Easter, I'd do sort of paintings just to advertise that they were doing like Christmas events and things like that. But yeah, I had someone carved out willy shapes on all the bottom of a window once. I've had like a couple of things like that now, and I was
The standard dick graffiti. Oh, do you know what? I don't think it could be like thousands of years. Well, it has been thousands of years, hasn't it? Because there's like graffiti of dicks that date back thousands of years. I don't think it'll ever stop. No. I think it's going to be like the graffiti of choice for people forever.
There's that film, isn't there, where he draws it on everything in his notebook? Or
I don't know. I must have missed that one.
I can't think what it's called now.
Yeah, I think, as I say,
thing that everyone draws, isn't it?
That graffiti, yeah, it's going to go on
the back of your van.
Life. Yeah.
But yeah, had that. But yeah, I haven't had anything too bad that I've had to go and change and touch up. Just things like that.
So this is only. I'm just trying to quantify the time scale. So you started off doing. When was your first, like, I guess, commercial customer or just customer in terms of murals?
It was probably about 3 or 4 months after me leaving.
Let's pause there a moment to thank this episode's sponsors, Q1. Q1 are a premium masking solution. They offer the ultimate choice for professionals that demand perfection. Whatever you're painting, Q1 tapes deliver clean, sharp lines every time. Q1 tapes are designed for superior adhesion and easy removal, leaving no residue behind. We use Q1 tapes in our business all the time, on every job. In addition to the painter's tapes, Q1 offer a range of surface protection technology, solutions and accessories. You can cover things like worktops, hard floor and kitchen units with a range of Q1 protections. Using Q1, your projects are going to look professional and the results will speak for themselves. Q1 is available at all of your favourite stores and online at q1tapes.com. Thank you to Q1 for supporting the Talking Tradesman podcast and helping us raise mental health awareness in the industry. Let's get back to the episode.
When they asked me to go back to work, I went back for a little bit and then I ended up saying, like, no, I don't want to do this.
Is that because you had enough backed up to... How was it? Was it like you had enough work or was it a bit of a leap of faith?
No, I wouldn't say I had enough work. I think I was just in a position where I could just say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like really passionate about doing this now. I'm going to make sure I make it work.
That's cool.
And I suppose I'd built up a bit of money to keep me going from the stuff I'd been selling during lockdown whilst having the pay still from work. So yeah, I suppose there was just that little risky time in between where being a business owner myself, I've always got a lot of respect for people that make that decision, certainly starting something new, because there is always that blind leap of, I'm going to try this, I hope it works, but there's no guarantees. No. So like, big respect to you for doing it. And it's lovely to hear somebody that's just followed their passion, their heart. I know it's all the cheesy stuff, but does it feel like work? No, still doesn't.
How brilliant is that?
I love it. Yeah.
How brilliant. I can see that on your face. Yeah. That's actually really nice. A lot of people I sit here, you've just got this pained look of like, I'm just done kind of thing. But yeah, you're.
No, I do. I remember putting a quote up on my Instagram before I started doing any of it, and it was the choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. I think that's always stuck with me, and like, I look back at that now and I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually doing that now.
You've got it.
Yeah.
That's mint.
Yeah, it's good. I did worry that I'd start seeing it as more of a chore and like lose the enjoyment in it, but I still haven't. So
fantastic. I think a lot of it comes down to management, doesn't it? You mentioned that you were feeling a bit burnt out when you came in, so I guess it's things like that could turn it a bit sour.
Yeah.
Why has that been?
What, as in why?
Why have you got yourself to the point where you're feeling a bit burnt out?
Like I said earlier, I think it's just that even on my days off, I can't sit still. So it's not, I suppose it's not that I'm booking in too much work for what I can handle. It's just that the time that I actually get to rest, I don't know how to do that. I'll like have a couple of hours when I get back from work to chill, but I'll just get on my bike and go on a bike ride for 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah, I just struggle to sit still, I suppose. And
Have you always been that way?
Yeah.
I guess outside in, potentially with your old job, you might have been sat doing your old job.
Yeah.
So that might have actually been your body rest time. And now you're doing a physical job, I guess, where you're you know, physically painting, you're doubling up on things.
Yeah. So then I get into bed and I'm just like, oh.
Well, that's a good thing. At least you don't have problems sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the biggest mural you've done to date?
The biggest overall, like over a long period of time,
size or time, I guess,
was the terrace in Leamington. Because I've pretty much painted the whole building there now, but it's just been gradual over the last couple of years.
Externally or?
Oh no, it just internally. Yeah, they've got so they've got a big cellar that's been done out that I did work for, the whole main bar area, a private room. So there's just been loads of different areas done. Done the ceiling in there as well. So yeah, it was quite a big job overall.
That's cool. How's that go in terms of because I've seen like the your Sistine Chapel type things. Yeah. I've always wondered whether people technical questions. Do you get up steps and paint it, or do you lie down?
So for this one, I had a scaffolding tower, and I did try it at the height where I was going to be like,
getting attacked by the tree.
I did have it at the height where I would be able to lie down to do it, but it just felt so weird lying on my back painting.
Yeah.
So we ended up lowering it, and I just stood and did it. But oh my God, my shoulder after it all.
Oh, I can imagine your shoulder or your neck.
But I just couldn't grasp the whole lying on my back to paint thing. It was just it didn't seem right.
Answers the question, because I've always wondered that, to be fair. I don't know whether some people would be different, but yeah, it'd be a strange...
And it's really hard to, because you're just focusing on this really small part. I'm used to walking back every 5 minutes to see what it looks like. So yeah, that was the most difficult part about doing a ceiling, just seeing it, what it looks like from afar.
Was it rewarding afterwards?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But where are you planning on taking it, Gemma? Because I've got this sort of thing, thinking with what you do. I mean, you could end up travelling the world doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'd love to do. I think that's why I've pushed on the whole travelling artist thing now with my camper van. I'd love to just start getting jobs. I suppose I'd only really be able to do that for Europe, but like if someone in Spain saw me and just said, drive over, come and paint here, I'd be straight in my van.
Amazing, to be fair, wouldn't it? Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody today. We were talking about my barber, actually. I was talking to him. And he was saying that he was looking into something, and apparently, because we were talking about Thailand, and he was saying that you can actually like cross mainland either by driving or by train all the way to Singapore before you have to get like a boat or a plane.
Well,
so there you go. There you go. You can get some mileage on the camper van.
That could be my next year tour.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, is there much competition?
I think if I'd have stuck with the painting on canvases, there would have been. But in terms of murals and doing the textured walls, I feel like everyone's coming to me saying, I haven't seen anyone that does things like you. So I think that's probably why I'm doing quite well and busy at the moment. There's not many people out there.
Yeah.
I think as well because I do so many different styles and whereas most people probably have just one style, like if they do like kids' rooms mainly, or whereas I don't even know how to describe what my style is. It's just
versatile,
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing to have, though, isn't it? To have that in your toolbox where you can change it up.
Yeah.
What if you were to be given complete free reign? Like, what would be your chosen niche?
Probably similar to what I did at the terrace, because I did get given freedom with all of that. So It's very like botanical, painting leaves and
Okay.
like all different colours.
Was
So
that
I
the one
think
you did
that's-
recently? There was a huge wall I saw that was
Oh
quite...
no, that was another one. That was probably the biggest wall that I've done in like 3 days time, I think.
3
That took me,
days.
yeah. But that's for a soft play area, and they wanted it as a big jungle, so I just did the wall as a.
I mean, fair play to them for whether you'll be comfortable answering this, but yeah, is the money in it? Like, does it pay well?
Yeah, but I think I probably do undercharge a bit as well, because I'm worried about people saying no if I.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's something that I was talking to someone about recently, that I maybe need to start, because I think a lot of the time I'll base it on like a normal like decorator.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said to me, like, look at people that are selling paintings this big for like £10,000,
Yeah.
and like you need to get the.
You're
the
doing
right
giant
yeah.
pieces. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I probably do need to start charging more. It's just so scary, just not, like.
Do you work it out on a day rate, or is it piece?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so hard to work it out because it completely depends on the design, how long it's going to take, like whether it's going to just be paint that I need to get, or whether it's going to be textured, and there's all different things that I need to think about.
Is it easier to do it on a day rate at the moment?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say a day rate. It's more just so say if I've got that wall in front of me there, I know that how much I'd charge roughly for that. Yeah. And then I'll start like thinking about everything else on top of it. Like how,
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a painter and decorator, so I spent my whole life and career doing that, but I wouldn't have a clue where to start with what you do.
Yeah,
but there is... I mean, for example, we do like specialist wallpaper installation, and my prices are different for that. Purely based on risk to reward ratio. The way I see it is if my client's handing me £2,000 or £4,000 worth of wallpaper, I can't hang that for my usual rates. It just doesn't equate. It's not worth my risk in handling that material for that cost. And I would imagine with what you do, because it is so niche and bespoke, I'd have thought there's got to be a decent market in it in terms of like value that you can pull out of it. Yeah. So don't undersell yourself. It was funny actually, because like pre-record we were talking. I put an Instagram video out today talking about like overworking or not charging enough with people, and you literally walked in and went, that video you put out earlier. So yeah, but there's, like I said, I'm not great at taking my own advice, but there's truth in that.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, that's where I need to go. That's the plan.
So it's been what, 3 years-ish, is it? Would that be right? 3-4 years?
I think so. I'm trying to think when lockdown even was.
2020.
Yeah. 3 or 4.
Yeah. How have you found, like, I mean, obviously the podcast based around the mental health conversation and mental health in construction, like, how have you found it's been for your mental health going self-employed and taking that step away from a career and into something that's a passion?
That has been quite a struggle recently. I think because I went from being, I had a sales team. I was constantly with clients, like showing them around the golf course, and it was very like sociable. We had like staff parties all the time. Yeah. To then just suddenly going on my own, but I think because it's going into different businesses and meeting new people every day, I think I found it okay. But I think recently, when I've had a lot of jobs where I am just on my own all day, I do struggle with that. I get home and I'm like, talk to me, someone. No, whereas everyone else gets home and they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to anyone, leave me alone.
Do you know what, Gemma?
So it's the complete opposite.
It's the worst combination in my house, because I have that where I can go certain jobs and be on my own all day. So I get home and want to talk to my wife. She works, like, she owns a salon, so she has people constantly, and it's just constant chat. So she'll walk in and be like, I just want silence, and I'm like, I need somebody to talk to. So it's not the best combination at times.
Let me tell you about my day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Somebody just please listen to me.
So true.
But it's a tough one. The isolation, it's something to keep an eye on. certainly for long periods at times. It is one of the key triggers and causes of, like, obviously poor mental health.
Yeah.
There's not many other. That's me setting phones off again. I swear they're on airplane mode, so I don't know how that's happening. Fantastic. I'm just going to put them in a lockbox or something. What was I saying? Isolation. Yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue with the construction industry. Have you got anybody else? I don't suppose you can't. Like, you can't have somebody work with you, can you? Would you?
No, I think I feel like I do need someone at the moment to do all of my admin, social media side of things. But even that, I wouldn't be with them all the time on the job. Like, I'd still be on my own during the day. So, yeah, I thought this is just going to be it forever now, me on my own every day. But, yeah, I think it's quite good that a lot of the work is commercial. So it'll be, like, in cafes or...
So there's people floating around.
There's normally quite a lot of people. Like, where I was painting today, spoke to so many people and everyone was coming up to me saying, oh, this is amazing. So when you have days like that, that's fine. Good. But when you're on your own in a building where it's all locked up apart from you being in there, you just get home and like...
I guess I've never really experienced the other side of the coin, like working for companies and being around people so much. So I guess I'm kind of conditioned to it. But from your point, like flipping from that over, it's quite a drastic change, isn't it?
No, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I just need to make sure that I still sort of book in the jobs where I know it's going to be a bit more social and I suppose that's hard to do though. You don't really know. You haven't
really got that control on it, have you? If the right job comes in, you know, that's completely desolate. I mean, what do you do in the day? Headphones, music, the Talking Tradesman podcast?
I do normally listen to music, but then probably after a few hours or so, I just have to turn it off because I just get, I just like being in silence sometimes.
Really? Oh.
But then, like, power hour at the end of the day, I'll put it back on again. But I can't have it on constantly throughout the whole...
I can't hack silence, mate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my wife goes mad. Like, she, again, maybe it's her job, she can come home, sit and do work or, like, admin work, complete silence, telly off, everything. The first thing I do when I go into any room is turn something on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whether it's radio, telly, whatever. I don't know why. There's no real reason for it. I just do not like... Even when I'm in here on my own, there's music on, there's always something.
When you were growing up, did you always have like your TV on in the background and things? I think that makes a difference, doesn't it? If you're used to it, it's been noisy around you.
I couldn't remember. I can't tell you, to be honest. I can't remember. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've just always... I feel uneasy in the silence.
Really?
Yeah, weird. Like, I'm just thinking about this now. Like, why do I not like silence? But yeah, I feel uneasy.
I think I prefer that when I'm at home though. Like, I never put the TV on.
Really?
Yeah. No, like if I put the TV on, I'll turn it off after a couple of minutes.
Because the noise bugs you. Let's take a quick break there to thank this episode's sponsors, Brewers Decorators Centres. Brewers have got over 200 stores nationwide. They're the premier destination for decorators and they stock all of the best brands in the industry. Brewers give the best advice in store and on top of that you can get 10% off your first and second purchase plus trade rates and free delivery when you sign up for a Brewers Pro Trade Card. A massive thanks again to Brewers for supporting the Talking Tradesman podcast and helping us raise mental health awareness throughout construction and beyond. Let's get back to the episode.
Not that. I think I don't know, can never find anything to watch for a start that's any good.
Yeah.
And then, I think background noise like that, I don't like. If it's music, then I like it. But if there's something annoying on in the background, I'm
giving away all my secrets here, actually, to be fair, because I'm just realising how weird I am. But because I was just thinking... I've got like certain programs that are my go-to programs that I know are background noise that won't distract me.
Oh, really?
So I don't really want to watch them.
You just put it on.
Yeah, you know, like what's like Homes in the Sun? Is it something like that? Where they A Place in the Sun. That's it. That is one of my go-to programs.
But you won't actually watch it.
No,
you just like
it's there as background, but I know I can sit and write quotes and estimates and stuff without getting distracted by it. if I put something good on telly, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing and watch the program.
Strange.
It is, yeah. I'm just realising that about myself right now in this moment. So thanks for that, Gemma. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I'm definitely somebody that noise.
That
Yeah.
What about when you're driving? Do you put yours?
Always got music or podcasts or books. The same when I'm at work. I mix it up. I can't listen to music all day because it's a bit sort of manic, but I'll listen to podcasts and books throughout the day. If I'm working with somebody, I'm okay. But generally I'll still have the radio on. Can't have a silent room with two people working. It's just bizarre. They're serial killers. So yeah, no, I find it unsettling when it's quiet. Strange.
It's weird.
Am I weird though, or are you weird?
Who knows?
Which one of us is? Listen, say in the comments below, which one of us is weird for preferring working in silence or working with some kind of noise? Yeah, I've definitely always got to have noise.
Yeah.
Unless I'm trying to sleep, and then it's got to be silent.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So yeah, any kind of noise, and I'm not sleeping for anything. Just realising how strange I am. But yeah,
Sorry about
just
that.
went off on a right tangent there, but that's part of the fun of this. So yeah, what was I was going to ask you a question actually. You ever had any awkward customers or any? I guess what I'm thinking in my head is being given that creative control is quite a responsibility or almost a pressure. Have you ever had anybody say, like, I'm not really keen on what you've done with that?
There's been a couple where I've gone back and had to change a few things, but I wouldn't say it's anything really drastic or that I've had to sort of start it again. It's more just if they want it a bit more detailed or... But yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything...
Nothing major.
But
Well, that's good.
There were a few paintings I did that were like portraits of children and things when I first started off, and I remember there were a couple of them where I had the person saying, "Oh, I'm not sure you got the likeness right."
Yeah.
So then I'd ask them to send me a few more photos, and turns out like the photo they sent me doesn't actually look like them from the photo anyway. So yeah, I think I learned from that though. Whenever I then did one, I'd always ask for like 5 photos just to work from all of them.
That's interesting, actually. Yeah.
Especially if it's a female that's used a filter on the photo, and then I paint them and it looks nothing like.
You've done a portrait and they've got little fox ears, and they're like, "Yeah, that don't look like them."
So yeah, there are a few things like that. But yeah, touch wood, I haven't had anything.
Do you still take on commissions for things like portraits and that?
Not really, unless it's a commercial commission to do like some canvases, like that one I did a new sort of prohibition 1920s theme bar where they wanted I think it was about 7 big canvases, and they were all sort of 1920s women's faces. So ones like that I'll do because I still have like I can still do my own style on them. But if it's just a sort of family portrait, I don't normally.
The canvas it isn't a bad. I've had a little bit of experience with that in terms of decorating, where I had a customer who actually had specialist wallpaper hung on frames that they could move.
Oh, okay.
Similar to a canvas, I guess, because this stuff, it was a de Gurney, so it was like hand painted silk. It was more like a piece of art, really. But their argument was by having it put in like frames that could then be hung on the wall and removed, they could take it with them when they moved house rather than installing it, which I guess would be kind of similar, really. People could have canvases done that they can pair up and then move.
Yeah, and I do normally give people that option, especially if it's people's houses. Like, do you actually want it on the wall? Do you think you're going to be staying here for a long time, or shall I do it on something that you can take with you? So yeah, it's just working out whether.
Have you ever had any sort of celebrities approach you for anything?
I'm trying to think now whether I have.
Is it a not yet?
Yeah,
It's in the pipeline.
so.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say celebrities. Just a lot of really good companies, I suppose.
What happened to the Michelle Keegan picture?
I did sell that one, but it was it wasn't Michelle
Oh,
Keegan
okay.
that bought it.
She didn't sort of
So,
message you and go, I
was
want it.
hoping when she commented on it that she'd be like, I want it. But
I don't think she'd have wanted to pay for it, Gemma, if I'm honest. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no celebs yet. So,
Yet.
yeah.
That's the key thing. Yet. Yeah. But how have you found running your own business?
I really enjoy it in terms of just working for myself and being my own boss and not having to work for someone anymore. But the whole admin side of it, I really struggle with. Like, really stresses me out. But I think that's just because I'm more of a creative person. Sitting there and doing spreadsheets is not what
It's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lovely romantic idea, running your own business, but you don't, or people don't always realise that as well as doing the thing that you love, you have to then become an accountant, a salesperson, a marketer, social media now. I mean, do you get a lot of work through socials?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine you would.
Through, yeah.
But that's a job in itself.
That's a full-time job. That's what I said earlier. I feel like I need to get someone now to do that for me. But then I think I wouldn't like not having the full control over it.
I was just going to say, would you give up that control to do it?
I suppose I'll have to if it gets to the point that I want to paint more than doing that, I suppose.
That's the ideal, isn't it? But then I guess it's how much more... I have these same battles myself. How much more work do you have to take on to pay that person? So does that then put more pressure on you?
Yeah, to make
there?
Sure I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a hard spiral. But then we've also got this obsession as people to keep doing more, keep taking more on. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason, like, if you're doing well for yourself now with how things are, why take more?
Yeah.
You know, but we do, don't we?
Want the next level, don't you?
Exactly. The bigger
step?
camper van.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose for me it's having enough work and money to go away in my van more. That's the ideal goal eventually. Just not, like if start selling a lot more of my prints of the paintings I've done and leave that to work on its own while I'm away.
Yeah, residual income, yeah. Have you got an online shop or?
Yeah, I don't really sell that much through my website though, because there's nothing new on there at the moment. It's all just the old paintings that I did that I can do prints of now.
Okay. Tell me how that works.
So any paintings that I've done in the past, I'll have them scanned,
Yeah.
and then you can just buy a print. So
like replicas.
So like when you go in art galleries, it'll say if it's an original or if it's a limited edition print. They're just basically photocopies of the original piece. So I can have that running in the background, but I don't really push that at the moment because I'm really enjoying doing the murals, I suppose. I'm just working hard on that. So.
Yeah, if you don't need to, you don't need to. I mean, just to talk about art, because it's a question, it's just, I love knowledge anyway. But if you were to sell an original, would that mean you can still sell the prints, or do you have to stop selling the prints if you sell the original?
The prints will go up in value if the original is sold, because
Really?
Yeah, there's...
Even though it's a print?
Yeah.
That can be...
So, oh no, I've said that the wrong way around. Hang on.
The original...
No, that is right, because then people want the prints because they know they can't have the original of it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's a very different world, the sort of art gallery world with the whole paintings and prints thing. I think that's why I didn't want to go down that route. I just liked the whole doing it on my own thing and not...
Would you ever see yourself with your own gallery?
Yeah, I'd love to do that and have it as a studio so people can come in and actually watch me paint while I'm in there and have the paintings for sale in there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Where would that be if you could have one?
Australia.
Right, okay, yeah. I wasn't actually expecting that answer. But...
I suppose in Leamington, where I live, I'd love to have
But actually,
on there,
Leamington's kind of geared towards that kind of setup, really, isn't it?
So I have got a studio, but it is more of a like storage room, and then I just go there to paint if I've got things like this to do that's going to make a lot of mess. But I'm not really in there a lot because I'm mainly sort of painting on walls in different places.
How was that made? Just out of interest, because you've got loads of layers there.
Yeah,
Is
it's mainly spray paint. But I put texture paste on it first. That's why it's got you can see all the texture on it. So, yeah.
Texture paste?
Yeah.
What does that do?
You just mix it in with the paint and it gives it
lifts it.
Yeah, the 3D effect.
Honestly, I'm buzzing with that. It's proper ace.
Yeah, I love painting the skateboards. They're my favourite thing to paint on, I think.
You do a lot of these?
Yeah. A lot of them have been like naked ladies painted on them.
And do people still use them as skateboards, or
no? They're just to put on the wall.
I was gonna say they look cool in like bars and stuff like that, don't they? Ace. Naked lady skateboards.
Yeah. But yeah, I did quite a few exhibitions. There's one called Art in the Park that they do every year, and everyone loved the skateboards at them. So I always made sure I'd got loads of those ready, and surfboards as well. I did a couple of them, just on like wooden, smaller surfboards.
They look really, like you say, they look really cool in commercial settings as well, don't they? If they're mounted.
No, definitely.
They're ace. Yeah. Have you got a selection of these on your website, or is it all?
Not at the moment. That's what I mean. I haven't really.
At the time.
Yeah, there's not enough stuff on there to make it.
They're wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously we're in industries that borderline overlap, but like my painting and your paint, they're just different worlds. I mean, this is actual skill and talent. Not that there isn't skill and talent in being a painter and decorator, but it's I'm not artistic.
I think it's just practicing in the different areas, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know. Like I've never ever had a tendency towards art or drawing or anything like that. But give me a room, yeah, no problem. But I could never do anything like that. So that's impressive.
You should try it one day on one of the walls in here.
I think I'd leave. Listen, I'm a firm believer to let people do their thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'll leave that with your thing. If you want to come and do a mural, then by all, like I say, this is going to go up there. Yeah. But actually, that aside, there's a reason why I've kind of kept it relatively plain in here, which is because eventually I'll look at renting out the studio to all the podcasts, that kind of thing. Yeah. So with the setup as it is at the moment, anyone listening fancies doing a podcast, with the setup as it is at the moment, it'd be quite easy to bring your own banners in or colours and change it, as it were. So I'm trying, with the exception of the big LED sign that none of you guys can actually see because it's behind the camera. Yeah. It's the only real sort of like branded thing in here for a reason.
Renting it out to people though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's I mean, not to talk too much about me, but it's another step that I just haven't had time to bring into fruition yet. But it'll be in the pipeline at some stage. I think personally, podcasts are great. Obviously, I'm going to say that, but I think they're a really underutilized tool. Yeah. I think for brands, for businesses, because quite often with businesses, you don't really know the person behind it. And I think just having that...
An easy way to get
to know them. Exactly. Get to know the business, get to know the motivations. And often it's a really big sales point. Yeah. When you find somebody's motivation and their background, their story, it makes you more... you get buy off somebody more when you know them. Yeah. It's just human nature and trust. When you've got brands... I mean, a great example, I had Nicola from CT1. CT1 are a massive company. She came, sat... talked about the brand, the journey, the story, the family business. It just connects you, where you sort of then go, okay, you see it on the shelf then and think, I know those guys. Yeah. I mean, you don't, but
they always say, don't they? You buy from the person, not that even like you might not even want the product, but if the right person's behind it.
Yeah. So I think podcasts are a great tool for that. They go out there and sit there forever. So it's I think it's an underutilized media form at present, but they do seem to be getting more and more popular.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, work-wise, where do you see yourself in? Oh, it's like that cheesy ass question, isn't it? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? But have you got like a plan? Because you're kind of at the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
You just,
I haven't got a plan, no. I'm just going with the flow all the time.
yeah.
I think, like, obviously I've got like dreams in my head of where I'd want it to be eventually, but I haven't actually planned it, or I just think that I'd put too much pressure on myself, and I'd rather just see how it goes as I'm going along. I think obviously I want to carry on painting murals because that's what I enjoy the most. But yeah, like I said, it would be nice to have my paintings been sold in the background just on my website without me having to worry about pushing that. But yeah, I definitely want to still be painting every day because I love it so much.
Is it therapeutic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be if you had the skill to do it. I imagine it would be. It must be nice to see something, just take a blank canvas, as it were, whether that's a wall, and bring an idea to life. And then the job satisfaction. It must be lovely as well, finishing something and seeing the reaction from your customers.
Yeah, that's the best bit, like seeing people. And like, I love it when it's someone that isn't there throughout the day and then they just come and see me at the end and just seeing their reaction. Especially if it's like children's bedrooms and things like that. That's really cool. I had a family the other week. I did like a music room for their children, and they brought the whole family into the room after I'd finished it.
Big reveal.
To like show them all, but they were all talking in their own language.
Right,
I was just stood there, had no clue what they were all saying, and I was like, "Oh my god, do they like
Trying
it?"
to read the face.
And then the granddad turned around to me and was like that. So I was like, oh, "Okay, they like it."
That's cool.
But yeah, it's nice seeing people's reactions.
Yeah, it's a nice side of the industry. Would you class yourself as in the construction industry?
I think a lot of people have said this to me recently. I probably would now.
I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether you do.
But then I've still got that like artist side of me that isn't. Yeah, I suppose it's a mix of both. But predominantly, like daily basis, I'm walking around. I'm in my van. I'm walking around with my ladders and like absolutely covered in paint. So that's like.
Yeah.
That side of it, isn't it? Where you just feel more like a decorator.
I 100% think with what you do, it's construction. It's just niche.
Yeah.
It's a very niche element of the industry, like the finishing industry, as it were. Certainly working in commercial premises. But I was just wondering whether you do, being like an artist background, or whether it's a strange kind of
I probably
blend,
do
isn't
now. I'd say it's more that side rather than.
Have you ever had to do like?
Painting.
Have you ever been on a commercial where it's been a site, so you've had to do like high vis and hard hats and all that kind of jazz?
No, I haven't had to wear a hard hat or high vis yet.
Not yet.
That jungle one that I did the other week, it was like I probably should have, because I was up on the scaffolding tower and it was very much like a big like construction site. But yeah, nothing that serious yet.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's one of those. I mean, it's the power of social media, isn't it? I can see with what you do, it's only got to get spotted by the right person, but by somebody that then pulls you in. I mean, I guess there's no limit to what you could do.
Yeah. That's something that I've always done as well, even if it's something I've never done before. And I'm not like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I don't know whether I can do that. I'll always just say yes and then
learn how.
Yeah, and then
I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love that, man. That's the reason I'm sat here.
Yeah.
Exactly that. I was like, let's just. I don't know whether I hit an age where I just got to the point of actually I don't really give a shit if I get it wrong. Yeah. But yeah, I love that mindset of just say yes and then learn to do it afterwards almost.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so many people say to me, like, how do you know that you're going to be able to do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather just try it rather than saying no to someone. What's the worst that can happen?
How does the process work? Is it like a mental picture that you then put onto the wall?
Yeah, it is really difficult. There's been quite a few clients I've worked with that have really struggled to imagine what it's going to look like. And I'll say to them, like, I can do a sketch for you, but it's never going to look the same as how it will look on the wall eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So I do a lot, rather than actually sketching on a piece of paper, I do a lot more on my phone now, where I'll sort of put a little collage together of different pictures off the internet and try and make it look like how it's going to look. I think that's a bit more realistic.
Do you use a projector or?
I do if it's for things like logos. So say if you wanted like the exact logo put on the wall, I'll use one. But apart from that, it's all just freehand and just do it going along.
That's even more impressive now.
But then I do tend to keep going over the same bits and getting them into the right shape. And it's not a case of me just doing it straight away and it looking exactly right. It does take a lot of sort of going back over the same spot. And
your technical questions here, do you use special paints or is it standard emulsions?
It's mainly just emulsion if I'm doing walls.
Really?
I do sometimes mix acrylic paint into it as well. Depends what sort of design it is.
You got a favourite brand of paint?
Dulux.
Are you Dulux? Okay, fair dues. Yeah.
And I think as well, that's like my little social side of the day, going to Dulux in the morning and having a little chat with everyone.
Yeah.
Like
the trade
that's
centres.
like my people that I speak to in the morning.
Dulux, you're listening. Get some sponsorship her way.
But yeah, like if I have had a day where I'm just on my own all day and then I've got to get paint for the next day, I'll be like, oh, I'll pop in there. There'll be someone to talk to.
Do you know what? I think, it's not really you shouldn't underestimate it, because it does make a difference. I've been the same. I've got a great relationship with all of my trade accounts, and there are days like that where you find yourself just hanging around a little bit more, and then it's like, oh, am I doing this? Obviously need some human interaction. But yeah, trade centres and social media as well. Like, how have you found social media in terms of generally the painting and decorating industry? I can speak for, because I'm in it. But it's quite a supportive community.
Yeah.
And that helps, again, with the isolated working.
Yeah, I think, a lot more on the decorator side, it's supportive, but there's not really that much interaction between different artists that I've found. I think it's very much doing it on your own, and it's quite different, I think, between the two.
Do you speak to many decorators?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think we'll always just sort of comment on each other's work, and I think that, like you say, that's just the nice little community that you end up getting from it. I've tried to push a lot more on my Instagram, like we were saying earlier, like people knowing like my story and actually finding out about me rather than just putting up pictures of my paintings every day.
It's important,
and that's helped a lot, because I'm getting a lot of people asking about the camper van and like that side of things.
Major like, jealousy over that thing. I'll just go and have a look. It doesn't matter what I always say about it. It's like, I don't know, it's like Cornwall in a van kind of thing. That's the best way I can describe it. Like driftwood, whitewashed kind of vibes. Is it? I've got that right, haven't I? Yeah, that kind of vibe. It's just, it's nice. It's nice.
I don't think I could live without my camper van now.
No.
Like, it's just freedom in a van. I love it.
An epic statement. Freedom in a van. Yeah.
But if I didn't...
You don't live in it, do you?
No.
Could you?
Just at the weekends. I could. I could go quite a long time in it, I think, especially in the summer. I could live in it. I can go completely off grid in it as well. It's got a shower, like the solar panels.
Is it fully?
Kitchen, yeah.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Don't even need to find like
apocalypse proof. That's mint. That.
Yeah.
Tell me how that works then. So you've got solar panels for all the electric,
so it's battery
shower.
and solar panels, so it all just
solar
runs.
powers charge the battery?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's gas as well for the hob.
Right.
Boiler and things.
So you could go like completely off grid for how long at a time?
So did Switzerland for a week in it, and I think I only topped up the gas like once, so that was like for having showers every day and using it to cook on. So mind you, a lot of the time I end up just doing barbecues outside.
Yeah.
So I don't use the hob that much. Water, obviously, I have to top up quite a lot, but you can always like petrol stations and things. You can do that at, so it's quite
yeah.
easy to do.
It's so cool, honestly. It really, really is. It's say you've had it 2 years,
Yeah. So, yeah.
and it still gives you that smile on your face.
First summer that I got it, I literally just went to the beach every weekend in it.
But yeah,
I picked up my daughter from school on a Friday.
what's the
We're
score in the UK? Because you're not meant to, or can you wild camp? Do you have to find a site?
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult in England. Wales and Scotland is like absolutely fine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, found so many cool spots to just stay.
Okay.
Especially Scotland, they actually I did the NC 500 route around Scotland, and
How
it's
was
like
that?
everyone just they're just used to people being in their vans, so there's no restrictions really on where to stay. But yeah, that was amazing. There's so many cool places up there.
Yeah.
The beaches are unreal.
Yeah, I've seen a lot online about it. It's one of those things I'm like, I need to do that.
Yeah.
You know, whether I get there, but you know, I've said I need to do it. How long did it take you?
I think it was 8 days we did it in.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we did it in December, January time. So
Not the best time to go to Scotland,
but
really,
it was
Gemma.
amazing because we had like snow. Woke up to snow about this deep one day. Next day it was sunny. Like it was just like we just had a mix of everything. So it was really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, just freedom in a van. That's just sold at that statement. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, but they're not cheap, are they? That's the thing. What's the economy like in it? Or is it, because I would imagine it's got to be pretty heavy.
Yeah, I have, because I've got my other van, which is a work van. I am starting to think, oh my god, I'm spending so much on fuel at the moment. Like I've got that all week, and then I've got going away. Like it does use so much diesel.
Yeah, it must be really heavy kitted out.
So yeah, I was thinking about maybe getting one that's like in between, but I can't.
Is your work van a big van as well?
It's a Vivaro.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So,
I've got a Vivaro, yeah.
But yeah, I can't part with my camper van.
No, get rid of the other one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But then I don't want all my ladders and paint in that one all the time.
No, it's too nice for that. It's not a crossover, is it? It is a mobile home. That's what that van is.
Yeah.
So I must admit, I prefer, not to a camper van podcast, but I prefer the conversions, like the converted Sprinters and things like that, as opposed to, you know, like traditional camper vans.
Yeah.
Like the
motorhome.
They look like a caravan on wheels, essentially. Yeah, the motorhomes. I don't know why. I think they're just cooler.
Yeah, they're just a bit more quirky, aren't they? You can put your own spin on all the interior.
You got the off-road tyres and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, perfection. Perfection.
I'm going to get it done in the Raptor paint, you know, like the textured.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like what they use on all the like army.
Yeah.
And then get my logo put on the side as well.
No way.
That's the next thing I wanted to get done.
You get to do it yourself? Can you do it yourself?
I can do it myself, but there's a guy I know that did his himself, and I asked him how much he'd charge me to do it for me.
Okay.
Because I was like, I don't know whether I've got the patience to do a whole van on my own.
Yeah.
So I might get him to do it, and then the actual logo and design, I might hand paint that because I think
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your own touch on it.
Yeah.
Fair play.
If you see a van driving past with a naked lady on the side,
it's causing crashes up and down the UK. Yeah. What's that? I mean, I was going to say you seem to have a thing for naked ladies. I've said it now. I was going to say it. I've said it. It's a way of getting around saying it.
Yeah.
But you do seem to like painting naked ladies. Any particular reason?
I think it's just from that first painting that I did, and everyone absolutely loved it. So
it's a cool painting. Yeah.
I think it's just men and women like it as well. It's not just one sided. So I think that's why I've carried on doing it. Everyone just really liked it and jumped on it.
If it works, lean into it. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's cool. There's a question that, do you know what, actually, I haven't asked this for a while now. I keep forgetting. But I've asked a lot of my previous guests. The construction industry in the UK at the moment has a crisis in terms of mental health. It's the worst industry in the UK for suicide figures. You're I'm going to repeat these stats. You've heard me say them before, but it's important to repeat them. You're 4 times more likely if you work in construction to take your own life than any other industry, and it's the worst industry in the UK by demographic. Why do you think that is? There's no wrong answer either. It's just I like to get people's perspectives because I tend to get different answers.
I think it probably is the whole like loneliness at work thing, and not having a big team around you throughout the day, but then not everyone in construction is like that. So I don't know whether.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't affect everyone, but it seems to affect a disproportionate amount of people in the industry compared to other industries. It's not, it's a perfect answer. It is a big issue. It's one of the key triggers and factors, I think, is isolated work. It's not good for anyone.
Yeah. Especially if you're on your own as well. So if you haven't got a family, if you're on your own all day at work and then you're going home to
an empty house
again, I can imagine that's probably the main factor in it.
Yeah. Well, we're social creatures, aren't we? The only other, I mean, if you look at isolation, it's generally used as a punishment.
Yeah.
And even in extreme cases, a form of torture. And yet a lot of us in construction do it to ourselves.
Yeah, you're doing it on a daily basis without realising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because, honestly, Gemma, the amount of times I've turned up on site and have literally said either out loud or in my head, I hope the other trades are done.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's out my way. And I'll literally be saying, I hope I'm on my own because I don't want people getting in my way. But at the same time, that interaction is nice if it's just a cup of tea.
I think I prefer it if I arrive and there's other people working there. I'm like, oh yes, I want to talk to you today.
For exactly that, yeah. I guess, I mean, I'd have thought if you're turning up, there's very few jobs that won't be ready in terms of like out of your way.
Put all the plaster in and everything.
Yeah, it'll be like, look, Gemma's coming today, make sure that wall's done. With us, sometimes you turn up and it's just like nowhere near ready for you, like even the plastering isn't done yet. So that can be frustrating. Or certain trades haven't finished yet and you finish a room, they come and the electrician channels out a wall or cuts a new hole or something's in the... there's all that frustration. And it's bizarre actually because we're all in this together in the construction industry, but there's a lot of like tribalism between the trades. So like, decorators, plasterers, carpenters, sparkies, plumbers, all tend to like stick together in their little crew. Yeah. There's this weird competitiveness, but we are all in it together, so it's worth bearing that in mind.
Yeah. No, definitely.
With me just ranting on. Gemma, is there anything that you particularly wanted to talk about in terms of like coming on the podcast? Was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't spoken about?
Trying to think now. Don't think so.
No, that's cool.
I hadn't really thought of anything in particular. I was just going to wait to see what you wanted to talk about. What everyone wanted to know about Gemma Grao.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you've done a good job. Is there anything I need to know about it? I think you've done a good job of answering how it began and what you do. And there's a feeling to me like you're just getting started. Like not that you're just getting started as in you're new to business, but like your trajectory, like it's evolving. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on where you are. I've got visions in my head of you travelling all around Europe in your camper van doing jobs here, there and everywhere, which would be pretty amazing. Essentially funding you to travel, isn't it really? Yeah. Like, we've got this a mural that needs to be done in Portugal. Well, if you pay for my travel, then
that's it. That's what I want to be doing. So,
let it be known if you've got any murals that need to be done across.
If you live by the seaside and you've got a wall.
Yeah. Ibiza would be a good shout.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pubs and clubs and
nice,
things like that.
Boutique hotels.
Yeah. There's a lot of that kind of vibe out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can see your camper van fitting into Ibiza as well. Yeah. No. Well, look, if there's nothing that we haven't touched on that you wanted to, then I guess we'll call it a day and check in down the line, and you can tell me all about, how you've done all these crazy adventures.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds, you've got a very bright future ahead of you.
I've just thought I was going to ask you something. How was Snowdon?
I'm going to pause there to thank this episode's sponsors, Abode Academy. Abode offer practical-based spray courses in Wiltshire and Manchester. They teach airless spraying, kitchen and furniture spraying, UPVC spraying, special effects including metal and workshop refurbishment courses. I myself have been on their airless course and I really enjoyed it. They teach in small groups, so it's a laid-back environment and very hands-on, loads of time on the sprayers. Their courses are approved by the Construction Industry Training Board, otherwise known as CITB, so you know you're getting good quality training. They offer full aftercare support and have their own range of spray equipment, which is top quality at affordable prices, and the aftercare they give is nothing short of amazing. If you're thinking of getting into spraying, you can check out their website at www.abodeacademy.co.uk, or you can search them up at Abode Academy on Instagram, as they post loads of helpful spraying content with tips and tricks. Thanks to the team at Abode Academy for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Let's get back to the episode.
I haven't asked you since you...
Yeah, no, appreciate it. It was great. It was great. There were a few things, like, first of all, I've done Snowdon a few times, and this time round we did the Lamberis path, and a few of us have said the same thing. I fell into the trap of, I'd not done Lamberis before. Have you done Snowdon yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, have you done the Lamberis?
I haven't actually done that one. I've done the pig and the ranger.
Okay, so prior to that, I'd done the pig up, the miners down, and I'd done the Watkins. So I'd done those three paths, and all you see if you look into it, the Lamberis, it's like, it's the easiest one. Yeah. So I'd fell into that trap of thinking it was going to be easy, and a few other people that also do a lot of hiking, not that I do, but they do, did the same. It was a lot fucking harder than I expected.
Really?
Yeah. If you've done the Lamberis path, you'll know.
I suppose you've got that whole, like, in the dark thing to think about as
That's
well.
weird. Yeah. Plus and minus on that. I've reflected on this over the last week. Yeah. So to start with, the Lamberis path, the climb to get to the start of the path is obscene. Like, it's just horrible. So you end up doing this climb and then thinking, Jesus Christ, is that what it's going to be all the way up? But it levels out a bit. Yeah. But it's just long. The Lamberis is the longest path, and it's kind of long and steady. There's no like scrambling or rock climbing. Okay. It's very path, but it's not easy. Yeah. Second observation, it was so much busier than I expected. Yeah. Like, I had this romantic notion in my head there'd be nobody there.
The only ones.
Honestly, and then Helen, who did the climb with us, one of our group, she is up there quite a lot, and she knew a guide that worked up there who had messaged her and said, "Oh, I'm doing Snowdon tonight with a charity group of 200." I was like, "Sorry, what?" Yeah, that were going up just before us.
Stuck together doing it.
Yeah, I think they'd split into about 7 or 8 little groups. That's terrible. I was only saying before recording about that as well. But yeah, they'd split into a few groups, but 200 people. Wow. But as we got sort of so far...
How do you know if you've lost someone along the way?
I've no idea. I mean, our group, we had 20, so we'd got a guide at the front, guide at the back, and a guide in the middle. So obviously the front and the back always know that you're sandwiched somewhere in between them, and they were communicating however they were communicating. But with 200, I've no idea how you'd manage that. Yeah. So yeah, that was bizarre, because we got, obviously it's pitch black. We got halfway up the mountain, you'd turn round, and it looked to me like headlights, like as in car headlights. It looked like a road, but it was just climbers, just people with headlamps, just this stream. So that was surprising. I was surprised by how many people were there. But yeah, we got up. We probably went up a bit faster than we needed to, because we left at 12:30. We were on the summit by about 10 to 4, I think. Oh, okay. And sunrise was 5:20. So we had to queue at the top to touch the top stone thing, which is funny, because I put a little video out on TikTok about that. It was only a very quick video, just going, like, from my own ignorance, really, just saying, like, I thought it'd be empty. Yeah. We had to queue for 25 minutes. And there's loads of people jumping in the comments going, you shouldn't queue, blah, 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 blah. Nobody should queue. I'm like, I don't see any other way around it. Yeah. The steps aren't very big. You can't just walk past. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in our group, there's like 20 tradespeople. Yeah. not really the kind of people that you just barge out the way. So yeah, it was busier up there than I expected, but getting past all that, the sunset was just stunning. Like, I won't forget that.
It looked amazing. All
Yeah.
of my stories, it was all
Yeah, we were so lucky. I didn't realise, to be honest, it was only when we were up there that the guides were like, look, it's probably 1 in 15, 1 in 20 expeditions get to see this, because it was clear.
Yeah.
And it was completely clear all night and all morning. So we got to see the sunrise, because obviously the guide company do it all the time, and they were like, they went up last week and you couldn't see more than 3 foot in front of you.
So annoying if you get to the top.
The cloud, yeah. And I've been up there when it's been like that and you can't see anything. But it was incredible. It was a great group of people. It was a really, it was a moment that will stay with me. I don't know, man. It's like seeing a sunset on top of a mountain. That was a bucket list thing for me. Yeah. And it was perfect how it all, even the weather, it was clear. It would have been so miserable if it was raining, because we'd have done it either way.
Makes so much difference.
Oh God, yeah. If it was driving rain, it'd have been murder. It'd been horrible. Yeah. But it was clear. It wasn't that. That was the other thing. It wasn't that cold. Last time,
when you get to the very top bit, really, isn't it?
Even then, though, Gemma. Last time I went up there, it was like, it was a nice day, and then you got to the top, and the wind was like, never known wind like it. It wasn't even windy. It was really calm, chilled. It wasn't particularly warm. We did have to layer up because we were literally sat around for an hour and a half. But some of the more experienced hikers among us had brought like jet boil things. So we were all up there having a cup of tea and coffee and that. But it was ace. The weekend was brilliant. It was just nice to get away with the group we got away with. We raised a fantastic amount of money for a brilliant cause. So the whole event went really well. Just under, I think it was like 7,488 quid, something like that. Which was, it was unexpected. I set the target initially, 20 people. I thought £200 a head would be a reasonable figure to go for, so £4,000. And we kind of trickled our way towards it. And then a couple of weeks, it was about 10 days out, we hit that. And then I was like, let's go for 5. So I set 5, and we hit that within 2 days.
Oh, really?
And then I moved it to 7 to be symbolic of the Project 7,000 that we're raising money for. Yeah. And we hit 7,000 actually before we set foot on the mountain. It was on the day we were in Snowdon, but before we, in fact, shout out to Jay Bizer, because he was the one that took us over the line. But we hit the figure before we climbed, which was nice, because it was like, pressure's off now, let's just do this. And then there's people that have donated since. So just under $7,500, which is incredible, because that money will genuinely go to do some good things for people. So it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Got very lucky. I don't think it could have gone any better. So thank you. No, it went really well. And I was in agony for about 3 days afterwards. So
were you straight back into work on the...
that was the hardest thing for me. I'm so precious over my sleep now. Because we lost sleep Saturday night. I'd got this, again, romantic notion. I booked a hotel for Saturday night and Sunday night and didn't sleep in it at all. Really? So got there because I thought, if I book the Saturday, it means we can check in at 3. Yeah. I was going to go to bed, get some food, then go to bed again, then get up and do the climb. So obviously I got there and there were people there. So ended up talking. We're like, do you know what? Should we get food now? So a few of us went for food and then went back to the hotel. We're like, right, let's go and get a head down and then all meet at like 12:15. I couldn't get sleep. You know, when you lay there and you go in,
if it's something
please
like that, can you?
Sleep, please sleep, please sleep. And I'm sat there, I lay there literally with my eyes closed for an hour and I'm wide awake. And I just thought, oh, fuck this. So got up, went down to the bar with a couple of other people down there, went for a drink. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to, not an alcoholic drink, climbing mountains. Went down for a Coke. And just sat down there. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to try and go back to bed at 9 and just see if I can get a few hours, because it's a bit closer to a normal bedtime. Was it 8? I don't know. Anyway, didn't work. So I had no sleep whatsoever. Climbed the mountain, which was fine. I was wide awake for that. Obviously, adrenaline and physical exertion kept us wide awake. Got back to the hotel, absolutely knackered. And the intention, again, was to go to sleep, get up, and then go for food and that later. But the hotel we were in if you ever do Snowdon, the Royal Victoria Hotel, not to knock it, it's very loud. Let's just say that. It's very loud. It's full of a lot of people climbing it at a lot of different times. And I just started to nod off, and then it was like bang, 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 woke me up. I said to my lad, I was like, do you know what, mate? Just pack up. We're going to go home. I was like, I can't lose another. I was terrified of losing another night's sleep.
I spoke to Jay from Royal Spa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he just sounded like it destroyed him.
Yeah,
he was like, I haven't slept 2 days. I feel so emotional.
Yeah. Do you know what, Jep? Yeah, because he's Leamington as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly that. So I don't think I've ever driven as tired as I did, which was potentially not a great idea, but drove back because I was like, I can't risk not sleeping again. But then when I got home, I was like, oh shit, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday now. And I thought, if I go to bed now, I'm probably going to wake up 8 or 9 and not sleep again. So I made myself stay awake. And I think I lasted till about 9 before I went to bed.
It's crashed and burned.
Yeah, but it took me all week.
Yeah.
Like for the week, I was tired.
It's just the sleep thing, isn't it?
Yeah, horrendous. There were a few people that stayed in Snowdon for the Sunday night. And I think Danny Madden and Jake and Vac, those two lads, I'm sure they slept like 16 hours. I'm sure Danny said he went to bed at about 6 p.m. on the Sunday and woke up like 9 a.m. on the following day. And I think Jake did similar. So it knocked us all about, the sleep. Yeah. Absolutely worth it. But I wouldn't do it again. I'd climb the mountain again, but just in the day.
Yeah.
I feel like I've ticked that box. And the reality is, if I tried to do it again to see sunrise again, I might not even see it. I didn't realise the odds were so low before I did it. I still have tried, but I think we just hit jackpot.
Yeah. So good that it worked out like that.
Yeah. Have you ever done a sunrise or sunset?
One, no. Yeah, I've done a lot of mountains, but not
it's epic. Yeah. It really is. Definitely worth giving it a shot. Yeah. I think it's like I say, it's one of the one-off things for me. I'm like, right, tick that off.
I took my daughter up to do Snowdon in November, so she was 7 at the time.
So were you doing things at like winter?
Yeah. Because there's no people around. That's when you have to go where you don't have to queue when you get to the top. But yeah, she made it the whole way to the top. Bless her. Just had to keep giving her snacks on the way to get her to keep going. Yeah, it was good. Every time we walked past someone that was like on the way back down, they'd be like, "Come on, you're doing really well," to her. So she kept going.
It's so funny though, isn't it? Because I've done Snowdon, like I say, a couple of times. I did Ben Nevis last year, and there's like a climber's high afterwards. Yeah. And predictably, we got back down, we were all dead, we were all knackered, and we got obviously the group chat, and then everyone's in the group chat going, what are we doing next? Should we do this? Should we do that? And there's people going, should we do Kilimanjaro? Like, fuck it, oh man, we've just done Snowdon. Like,
what was that, within like an hour of finishing?
Yeah, literally, the people going like, I'm absolutely dead, but should we do this? And when are we doing the next one?
It is addictive though, isn't it?
Really is.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm honest with you, if I'd have arranged something within 24 hours, I'd have signed them all up. Yeah. I'm not sure now because I've had a bit more time to recover. But I think if I'd have said, right, yeah, we're doing this within 24 hours, I think every one of them would have gone, yeah. Because it makes you feel great. Again, talking mental health, like, it's brilliant for your mental health. Yeah. Just getting up there and
just being outdoors, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you meditate?
No.
Have you ever tried?
No.
No, mate. Well, so I've tried and really shit. The reason I ask is because I find doing something like that to me is like meditation, because I can't sit and be still and be, because my brain is like, what about this? What about this? What about this? But when I put myself under like a constant physical exertion, such as a mountain climb, because it's so long, because it's like 5-6 hours. And most people, by the time you get to the end, are pretty tired. You're that focused on just that, like one step, next step. Okay, let's just get to there. Okay, let's just get to there. Okay, I'm nearly there. I can see the top. Blah, blah. You're that focused on that. It's like meditation for me. It's very
I've
like...
never thought of it that way.
Everything else goes away.
Yeah. You're not thinking about what you got to do tomorrow. You're just thinking about...
It's they say about like professional athletes and that, it's like flow state.
Yeah.
People talk about things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the same way. It's like you have to be 100% boxing, 100% in the moment, because if you're not, you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So you have to be that focused. You can't have all these like external thoughts going around your head, and that's what I thought. That's what that is for me. Doing those hikes and stuff like that. It's like my own meditation. Yeah. But again, before we wrap up, you've opened a. What is making that noise? It's like a giant bee. Stuck. Yeah. The thing that you mentioned about the darkness side of it was interesting. Danny, one of the other lads that did the climb, we've both reflected on it. And it was a strange thing because it was so dark, you could not see the top. You had no idea where it was. So it was so small. It was like, literally, okay, it's just got really steep, but I can't see how long that goes. I can't see when it's going to finish.
Especially if you haven't done that path before.
Yeah, exactly. We were all... I'm not sure if anyone there had ever done it before. There were a few that had done Snowdon before, but I don't think any of us had done the Llanberis. I think we'd all avoided it because we thought it was easy. Yeah. For anyone out there, it's not easy. Like, if you want a challenge, do it, because it is not easy. But yeah, we got certain sections and it go really, really steep. And you just couldn't see how far it went. So it was just like, just one step. And I remember there were a couple of times there was a section they call the steps, which is like quite big boulders, which funnily enough look a bit like the steps. And I remember out loud just going, one more stone, one more stone, one more stone, really? One more stone, just because it was that steep. And yeah, just those one
saying that you hope
in my head, like, just one more, one more, one more, one more, one more, until I got to the point where I was like, okay, they're done. But we sort of reflected on the way back down, because by the time we come back down, the sun was up. We could see everything, which was great because the views were incredible. But I remember coming down one of the really steep sections, stopping, turning and looking back up and going, oh my God, that would have looked horrendous in the day.
So maybe it was better.
Maybe it was better. It was,
see how steep it was.
Exactly. It was a double-edged sword of, there was that, I don't know how long this is going to go on. But in reflection the following day, it was like, I'm glad I didn't see how long that was, because that looks horrible. Yeah. And would I have actually looked at that and gone, yeah, I can't do that?
It's mad, isn't it?
It is. It's funny how the mind works. And I had a similar thing the year before when I did Ben Nevis, because we had a complete whiteout. Have you ever done Ben Nevis?
Started to, but it was way too windy. We had
to really?
Back down. We had 2 dogs with us, so yeah, it just wasn't safe for us to.
We did a winter climb of Ben Nevis. I think it was March of 24. No idea what I got myself into. I said yes. I had no idea what I was doing. They were giving us crampons and ice axes. I was like, use one of these for. Yeah, but similar thing. There's a couple of like false summits as you get near the top, and you're absolutely fucking exhausted. And that was the same. I think if I'd have been able to see, it would have been like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's strange. You're always capable of a lot more than you think you are. But yeah, it's a long fucking answer to the question.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible, the power of the mind. But it's interesting. I've sort of reflected a few times on that, not being able to see.
Yeah.
And the small goals. I think there's something in that where the small goal, like for me at times, it was literally like one more stone. Okay, I've got to that one. Now the next one, now the next one, now the next. Before you know it, I'm at the top of the mountain. If I'd have been able to see the top of the mountain, which would be this big goal, it would have potentially looked too big. Yeah. And you can equate that to life and business, same thing.
Start doubting yourself.
Yeah. Well, if you would have gone from, being in your position where you were working at the gym complex golf place and gone, I want to own a camper van, be able to do all this travelling and do Mural, I want that to be my life. That would have probably seemed like too big.
That was like the massive dream.
Yeah, exactly. But that's too big. But by going, I'll sell some pictures and I'll do this, and it's small goals, like achievable goals, and just keep raising that bar. It's incredible what you can achieve. Yeah. There you go. There's a lesson in that one. There's a lesson in that one. But it's true for life and business. As I say, sometimes it's not good to set your targets too high where it seems unachievable. Same with this. If when I started a podcast, if I'd have gone, I want a high street studio of my own, I want all this equipment and this, that, I'd never have done it.
Yeah.
I'd never have done it. But by setting
Did you
small...
actually believe that you would get to that point though? But you just, oh really?
If I'm honest, doing this has been one of the first times I've done something without a plan.
Yeah.
Everything else in business, I've always had a goal and a plan. With this, no. I never imagined I'd be sat here in terms of this premises with this equipment. It was purely a passion project that it was like getting on a train. I didn't know where it was going, but fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm here now, but no, I never pictured this, envisaged it. I don't know where it's going now. It's got to here, but it hasn't, the train ride hasn't stopped yet. So we're going somewhere. I'm just not sure where it'll be. Yeah, exactly. But that's the fun of it, It's actually been, like, from my personal experience, doing the podcast has kind of been a bit of it's a beautiful experience, really, because I've got no pressure or expectation on it. This does not pay my bills. I don't take a wage or money out of this. Everything that I've had has come back in. My business, fortunately, is doing well, and that does all those things. So there's just no pressure on it. So it really is like I can just be like, yeah, cool, let's see what happens, which is nice. But no, to answer your question, I never for a minute thought it would get to here. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Joe Rogan, watch out. But no, you never know. You never know. I don't know where it's going, which is the same as yourself, really.
Yeah. But then I think if I think back to when I decided to do this, I did actually believe that I would be at this point now.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't try to, and that wasn't the plan. I did actually, in the back of my head, think, right, one day I'm going to be doing that.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's
that's probably what's kept me going.
I guess I can resonate in terms of whenever I do anything, I always give it 100%.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's any point in trying anything new and not really throwing yourself into it, because it's like, well, if you're not going to give it your all, why bother?
Yeah.
If you're going to try to do something, let's really try and give it everything and see what you can achieve. So yeah, I can resonate on that. Like, to say that I've had no plan with this, the plan has always been to give it 100%, but it's never been... I've never had any expectation of I'll give it 100% and I want to be here or I want to be there.
Set deadlines for yourself.
I haven't said anything really, but I think by nature I'm pretty much like always trying to improve something. Yeah. I've always got my eye on the next thing that I want to bring in or improve. Listen, in fact, if you're watching this and it looks like a normal episode of The Talking Tradesman, then what I've tried to do did not work. So today, potentially... could be the first time that we've got multiple camera angles on the go. So if you've seen multiple camera angles of Gemma today, then it worked. Then it worked. This will be the first one. But yeah, so like I say, always trying to do the next thing. So, and long may it continue. Yeah. But look, Gemma, it's been an absolute pleasure. Before we do wrap things up, one final time, just tell everyone where they can find you.
So on Instagram, my name is Gemma Grao Art. Same with TikTok, Facebook. You can find a lot of my work if you want to go and have a look at it in a lot of different bars, salons and things.
Good excuse to go to a bar.
Yeah. And then also this summer I am going to be doing some pop-up shops in the camper van. So there's a few beaches that I've planned to sort of go to, park up, and then I'm going to be setting it all up so people can buy things like these skateboards on the beach.
When you do it, Gemma, just tag me in it or drop me a message and I'll share it. I'll share it because I think what you're doing is wicked. So, to give people the opportunity to know and come down and see it would be ace.
And yeah, I think that's why I want to do the whole travelling thing more, just so more people can actually see it and have the opportunity to buy it. And there's a lot to be said for that, to be honest, because if you were to have just a fixed studio gallery,
then it is kind of area specific, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you might not have people travel. So yeah, there's a lot to be. I think you'll smash it with it. I think it will do really, really well.
Thank you.
So yeah, I look forward to keeping an eye on your progress over the next few years. I think it's only going to get bigger and better, and just to basically just cry over your camper van as such. Just watching all the adventures.
Yeah, I won't tag you in all my camper van trips because then you'll.
No,
you'll
too. I
just be
was going to say
depressed.
it's inspiration for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, it's been a real pleasure to get to know
having
you and
me.
your story. No, like I say, absolute pleasure. Before we wrap up, big thank you to the Funky Peach who provide all of our guest merchandise. If you're looking for any printed workwear, go and check out the Funky Peach. They do an incredible job. Big shout out to Steve over at Uncle Matt's Hats, still giving away your hats, mate. Do you wear caps, Gemma?
I do, yeah.
Fantastic. You had to say yes, I know you had. I hadn't actually pre-prepped Gemma to say yes. But yes, I'll send you away with, have you seen Uncle Matt's hats?
No.
I'll explain it to you in a moment. So Gemma will be going away with one of those. So thank you to you guys for your continued support. I'll catch you soon on the next one. All right, we're all done.